Hi, Eamon here, Psychegnosis News, day 2 of what I believe will be an exciting adventure. Hopefully yesterday you had a good look at what was said and you read the article that was based with it on the declarations made by Psychegnosis News since 2009. Today we're going to discuss a very important aspect of psychognosis and massive claims that it makes as we go into our article later on, where it claims that vibrational information is not who we are. What do we mean by that? Well, we're surrounded everywhere we go. We look, we get tormented, we get hit by newspapers, we get hit by television, we get hit by the internet, we get hit on every side by advertisers looking for us to spend our money with them. We get confused because we get told things at school that are opposite from perhaps what we feel sometimes. We get told lies and we don't know if they're lies. We get told things in religion that we're not sure whether it's right or wrong. They're all based on vibrational information. We as human beings live in a physical world. The body that we have is the most amazing communicative system that has ever existed. And we are part of that. And we are part of this physical domain which depends on vibration. Everything carries a vibration with it. Especially our mind. Our mind carries and is able to translate and transmute into pieces of information at a rapid rate. We can do more in the first few years of our life than we can in the next 20 years of our life due to our being like a sponge, and then we lose that because we become convinced about our beliefs. But that's a future discussion which we'll discuss many times over the next 30 days. But we're talking about our vibration today. We communicate by vibration. Well, let me help you here. There is no bad vibration. There is no good vibration. There is only vibration. We decide whether it's good or bad inside our head, and that's why depression doesn't exist. That's a bold claim to make. Now, I'm not saying there's no clinical situations where people actually have to take, due to their bodily nervous system, and that there are times, maybe in the time of death, where we need to take some tablets for a few days. But other than that, some people are still on them 15 years later, living their vibrations over and over again. There are no bad vibrations. We live in a world that's unique. And the fact that we do communicate, and that unless we have choices on both sides. For example, if we've ever met anyone who's been in a relationship breakup, they always, if you get one side of the story, you will always find that that story is totally biased. We'll never know the truth because we haven't heard both sides. Once we hear both sides, believe me, or I'm sure you found out yourself, that some of the things that you were told originally were perhaps exaggerated, or were known as half-truth, which are basically lies. And we're living in a world where people are continue on this journey of our life through containment, and the fact that what we've done is we've actually done ourselves a problem, and the fact that what we've done is we've learnt information that's instilled into our subconscious, and it's very, very difficult to overcome. And this is what psychognosis is about, is a solution to the problem rather than a temporary solution, in the fact that people are given medicines and therapies that really never work for very long. We're given a solution here in the fact that what we can do is realize, once we realize that all information is good, there's an instantaneous change within our system. Our chemical reactions change and we overcome all these issues. Now, that's really what I want to finish on now. The article that we're going to read out will explain a lot more detail. We're only going to briefly go into that because at the end of the day, I need you to be able to study on your own, make your own investigation, because you are the judge, you are the jury in your own life. And really, these are important aspects that we've really got to take into consideration. Thanks for watching Psychegnosis News so far. We'll be watching the video in a minute of the article. You decide. Thank you. Bye. Hi. Here we are, Psychegnosis News on www.psychegnosis.com. We can find a newspaper, which again, we have many articles on this particular subject. But this particular one was done in 2014, July the 5th, and it was based on science at the time. We investigated science and psychognosis, and the particular article at that time was called "The Insanity of Trying to Fix Our Emotional Output." As we follow on from what we spoke about earlier in the video, I'd like to just read parts of this, because I'm going to encourage you all to actually read this. I'll put a link at the bottom of each of the video that you get today, and I'd appreciate if you go and look at it yourself and study it yourself, because the most important thing is that you get an understanding of this rather than me ramble on about it for a long time. But I'll just give you an idea of the claims that are made here so that you can look at them and decide for yourself whether they're correct or not. The following information, when understood, will bring about a transmutation within our nervous system, or your nervous system, so incredible it will be like walking out of a darkened room into a blaze of the noonday sun. Quite a dramatic statement in itself. If every therapist and every psychiatry takes this information and explains and shares it with those who are treating such things as depression, jealousy, sexual disorders, Alzheimer's syndrome, death of loved ones, shyness, postnatal depression, schizophrenia, fanaticism, paedophilia, sexual orientation, hypochondria, kleptomania, repeat offenders returning to prison, as well as many other mind-related issues, we promise that those who receive the information will overcome their so-called problems in a very short period of time. Is that not a dramatic statement to make about all of the above and every other mind-related issue? Worth investigating. Please do that. It will be a permanent solution and not just a temporary one. Now, isn't that interesting? It will bring a change within our lives that will bring both peace and joy within the lives of the existing treatments that have failed to bring up, all existing treatments have failed to bring about. So it's making a huge claim there. Every disorder named above, along with other numerous disorders too many to mention at this time, is related to the interpretation of our vibrational impulses that flow through our nervous system. Basically talking about the information that's coming through vibrating to us. We've been taught in every society that our vibrational impulses required to be fixed by such insane and useless practices as medication, meditation and analyzation, which we can now declare with all certainty not only are they useless, but are extremely dangerous and are perpetuating this non-existent problem. And it asks the question, why does mankind treat the symptoms rather than the source? Why do therapists insist on blaming the symptoms of those under their case when it is blatantly obvious that the issue is that there are no bad vibrational impulses, with no exceptions? Isn't that an amazing thing to say? As this discussion is going to be a long one, we ask that we begin today by looking at a permanent solution and abandoning the insane treatments that presently exist, for example, in depression, as we've been discussing. Here are a few previous articles which written today talks about that. Talks about exactitude, it talks about the voices we believe is who we are, the symptoms. I'll just briefly go into this because I don't want to go on too long. In this series of voices we believe we are, we have discussed many of the numerous symptoms that are generating from our physical body and mind, which we have interpreted as being who we are. We are all trying to discover who we are by looking within our physical impulses, and that is the reason we are not at peace, both on an individual and global level. It's an impossible task because every emotion is temporary and peace is constant. The physical body is transmuting every second, whereas peace is constant. And it says there, our story will die with us when we leave our physical body, but peace will never change. Every symptom is a symptom of interpretation of a vibration that is stored within our subconscious. And to try and discover who we are within our symptoms is a complete waste of time. Anyway, I'll go down and it just basically talks about other articles. Is it logical to treat it with medication or meditation? Says a bit there, we do not require any treatment because they are not the problem, i.e. our vibrational impulses are not the problem. It is insane to actually treat an emotion. It is insane to try and fix a symptom. It is not logical to medicate, meditate or analyse our emotional impulses. I could go on, but today I'd like you to make some investigation yourself, take it into consideration, and work out whether it's correct or not. And it should help you, and it's something that you can pass on to your loved ones. And it's actually a question at the end, which you'll find in a lot of the articles. If I am my vibrational impulses, why do my vibrational impulses constantly change from feelings of sadness to feeling of gladness and all things in between? And it says there, the answer is obvious. Our vibrational impulses are choices we can decide to follow or not. Our vibrational impulses are our friends and not our enemy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate everything. Please share this video, watch it, and more importantly, read the article afterwards and get used to what's the information from Psychegnosis News and decide if it's blatant claims of being able to fix every problem that related to mind-related issues is actually true or not. It's very important. Hope you're enjoying it. And my shaky hand, again, I don't drink, but it seems like it sometimes with this. Thanks for watching. Cheers just now. Bye.